This time on Woody's Garage. Are you playing with your PP again?
Okay, sports fans, we're out here again today working on PP. What I want to do is put the engine back together today. Now it's really windy out and maybe you can't even hear me right now. I'm trying to block the wind with my body. But putting the engine back together is pretty much like it was taking it apart in a way. But what I will do is show you how to do the cam chain timing. And I found out also that the frame is definitely a KO 1970. We knew that. But the engine is a 1981. I looked at the serial numbers there and looked them up. So, and my guess is a lot of these other parts are off in 81. They put two bikes together perhaps. Okay, time to put the cam chain sprocket in there. You can see the chains right here. The bolts coming through. What you need to do is set your flywheel at top that center right there. If the cover was on, I think there's a mark, but I'm going to go by that. It looks kind of like a mark itself. It's usually about where it is. Then you got to take the sprocket, and if you notice the sprocket, these are kind of weird. They're set up so it's not a symmetric arrangement, so it can only go on one way. And I believe that if the flywheel and the sprocket are 180 degrees out, it won't bolt up, but I'm not sure. You'll also notice there's a little mark right there, and that needs to go pointing right at this mark right here. And if you do that, then everything should be lined up. I'm not going to put the camera on when I do this because I'm going to be in the way of it. Here's a better shot. I laid it kind of on its side. And we'll see if we can get the gear in there and stuff. So I marked the place where it's supposed to go. And you can see it's not in the right place. It's got to go up to here. So I got to kind of push this back and move the links until I can line that up to there. I keep walking it back and forth and it's not lining up perfect, and I noticed so I just kind of pushed it so one hole would line up but the others do not. So it means I'm 180 degrees out, at least I think. I'm gonna put the bolt in here just to hold the head down too. Well, I think I got it, but not the way I was teaching. I just found a place where it lined up by moving the flywheel around, and I got the screws in, and then I turned it to top that center and it lined up. So watch a different YouTube video. I'm not very good at this. I was just looking at the rear sprocket, and isn't that small? I don't know, but yeah, we're losing some of our Cal Custom paint job. Okay, we're gonna put the head on. And one thing I remember from the last time I did this is that there's a little arrow here to show you which way is up. Now we got a variety of nuts and bolts here to hold the head on. The copper washer goes on this side. Right here you put a regular washer. And the regular nut. Okay, this is how they should look. The bottom has a regular bottom. If you're looking at it from the front, the bottom right has a regular washer and a regular nut. All the others have acorn nuts. And the bottom left has the copper washer. Now the copper washer is because this is an oil passage and it helps seal it up. Did I say that clear enough? copper washer, all the rest regular washers, regular nut and acorns. Around 7 foot-pounds according to climbers. Good. Okay, now we got to put the carb slide in. You can always tell which way it goes. If there's the big slot, goes where the adjustment is, because that's where the adjustment rides on. You can see it's kind of a ramp there to adjust the speed, and the other side has a slot, and there's a little pin inside here that keeps the slide in place. You just gotta kind of find it. I suppose I should see if the engine turns all the way around. Sure does. I'm trying to think what's next. I guarantee the points ain't gonna be happy, and there they are in there. I always hate doing these because it's hard to get in there and do the gap and stuff, but I think what I'm gonna try to do is just give them a file and see if they're ballpark. You can kind of tell by eye if you've done it enough times, about a matchbook cover thickness for a point gap. And then we'll wonder about this beautiful ignition system. Okay, we sanded those with the points with an emery board. Got it in there. The gap looked good. Gave it the Mortsky flick. And I bet you're thinking what I'm thinking, or maybe you're not. We have no Kickstarter. Oh yeah, I gotta show you something. Yes, yes, yes. That is the kickstart shaft. So someone did at one time put a bolt through it and tried to secure it. I gotta do something. You can see what's left of the splines, like right there. I have a couple of kickstarts, and I guess I wouldn't mind sacrificing one to make this work. I thought of maybe getting out the welder and putting little tack welds on here so that it might fit tighter. I don't know. I got these two buttes. This one sticks way the heck out, but it's kind of unique. This one looks pretty run-of-the-mill and crappy, so this is probably the one I'd use. And if I could line this up so that I could drill another hole. So I kind of decided, instead of trying to get the kickstart working, we should see if we can get a spark out of the thing with this Bozo ignition setup. It looks like there was no place for a battery, so they have it not running on a battery. So I'm just gonna fool around with a switch and use the drill on the mag and see if we get spark. See if we can zoom you right into it. Although I don't think we're going to get anything. That's how optimistic I am. Okay, let's try the switch on. No. Okay, we're getting no spark. I disconnected this harness that goes into the mag down there, and there's a black and white wire right here. And I believe if we take this and go straight to the coil, then we should get spark. But what I found when I came up here, you probably can't see much, I'm in the dark so I can see the spark. This is a wire to the coil, and it's a black and white wire. And it's hitched up to a black and white wire. So it looks like it's actually hitched up right. But once again, I have no idea what this whole key setup crap is here. I don't know. So we're gonna just jump a wire from the black and white down here to the coil. Alright, it's been a minute. It's been an hour and a half. So I started stealing parts off the Parts and Farts 50, being the cap, being the coil, looking at how it was set up, and everything looked fine. So I went back and I looked at the point gap again. I said, like, Jesus, that's way too big. So I just cranked it down. This is after an hour and a half, mind you, of screwing around. And we got spark. It's not a good spark, but it is a spark. Yo-ho. Oh, by the way, I took a known good coil out of the Z50, which is actually a CT70 coil. So now I'm going to switch back to the coil that's in this bike and see if it can also produce spark. Okay, I just hitched it up to the old coil and I do have spark. It's weak, but now we have to think about, like, with the spark plug in, am I going to be able to turn the flywheel with the drill? I just think that nut's going to come loose. Okay, put a little gas in the carb and a little gas down the cylinder. We'll see if we can even turn it over with a drill. I'm not sure. Good news is if we can turn it over by the drill. Bad news, it doesn't sound like it wants to start. It didn't work. Let's move my finger over it. I'll try a little brake cleaner, I think, in there. Wondering if the cam timing is 180 out, if it would just, you think it would misfire or something. Well, back out on PP today. Yesterday I kind of quit a little prematurely. I was just figured it would pop off and run a little bit yesterday, but it didn't. So today I thought of a few things. Number one is that spark is rather weak and it's so rusty down in that hole, and I'm sure there's things like mouse pee and stuff like that all inside of it. So that's something I want to address and clean out that cavity with some baking soda and water or something like that to neutralize the acid so it doesn't keep rusting, and pull the coil out of there. I think I can. I don't think I gotta drop the engine to take it out. I hope I don't, because I won't. and also set the valve gap. Okay, I think that's everything out of there. I'm going to spray it with a spray that I have that is water and baking soda, and just spray inside the tunnel and spray in here. Yeah, I saw this on YouTube to make a solution, to make a super glue accelerator. It has baking soda and water. It's kind of messy, and if you do use it and you spray it on, it leaves a powdery residue too, which is not very nice, so I don't recommend this at all. But we'll just spray it around inside the cavity. Okay, everything's all wet in there. I kind of decided I want to pull out this old harness. I'm not using it at the moment anyway, and I don't even know if it's the right one or what's going on with it. So the only thing that's holding it in is this ground right here. It goes through the tube, comes out here, and then we got this mess. So there is part of this mess that goes up to the handlebar, I guess on-off switch probably only. And you know, it's kind of weird. It kind of seems like maybe it's, you know, maybe it was the original harness. It just, I don't know, maybe it's from the 81 like the motor is. So we'll disconnect the black and white, and we'll disconnect the green. Yeah, that looks way bigger than a CT70 harness. I actually have a couple of them, so I think they'll probably be better than this and more suited to what we're doing. Okay, we're at top dead center, and the valves feel there's a little bit of movement, but they're pretty tight. So I'm going to loosen this. Get my feeler gauge. Slip it in between. That feels a lot better. And take my homemade tool, which I use to hold the nut, the top center, tighten. Yeah, it feels good. Check the bottom one. I don't think you're going to be able to see that down here, because they're both loose at the same time at top dead center. This one feels good. Feels just like this one. It's impossible to see it. Oh, it feels good. We're gonna clean and reset the points again. Okay, so we've cleaned the points, checked the valves. The intake was a little tight. We're leaving the cam timing the way it is. I increased the idle amount in the carb, so it'll be idling at a higher speed. Maybe that'll have a little more air and etc. And I don't know, we'll just see if anything happens. The spark still as wimpy as it was, pretty much. Okay, I tried a little off camera. Got some gas on the bowl. We're definitely getting oil to the head because it's pouring out, so I got to put this cover on. But absolutely no action. I tried some brake cleaner in it. Nothing. Whoa, look at that crap down here in the mag. Okay, I'm not quite sure what to do except for take off the flywheel and get that crap out of there. We just took out the impact and it came right off. So this screws in here counterclockwise. All this looks in pretty bad shape. A little oil on it. Alright, that screws in counterclockwise, then you screw this in. Off comes the flywheel. Great tool, they're only like 20 bucks, so they were 20, now they're probably 200. That looks good, huh? Boy. Okay, we'll clean that stuff up. Better way to clean the points too. A little oil on that oiler. Look at the crankshaft's all rusted. Look at that little bunny. That thing is so tiny. Hey you! Okay, I've been cleaning for a while. Clean the points better. After you file, it's nice to get a piece of paper, run through there to get rid of anything that's more cruddy. I noticed this key looks rather short. I'm wondering if the flywheel moved on this. I don't think I have another one. Be nice to put new points in condenser too. Flywheel is looking better, but boy, this is a surface that the points ride on, and well, it's looking a lot better than it did. It's funny, I don't really see a high and a low point on it though. Like, you know, where do the points open on this? Okay, the spark looks about the same, but let's give it a try. Anyway, got some brake fluid down the spark plug hole. I did a little bit more in it. I got a couple more pops out of it, but I don't know. They're not like healthy backfires even. The points, they look okay. I'm wondering about the transmission too, because every time I put it in gear to move the flywheel or something, it's like you gotta shift up or down, where these things shift 3 or 4 down, depending on the engine. I think this is 3 down. And this is kind of not doing that. So I wonder if the trans is completely wasted anyway. But I still would like to get it going. So I went looking around for another plug. I couldn't find one, but I found a new boot. Didn't even know I had it. And I said, well, it won't make a difference, but I'll be able to put the other one back on the 50. It did make a difference. The spark looks much better.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. Our team of auto injury attorneys has the experience to get you the most compensation fast.
Call now to speak directly to an attorney.
And that matters. Law and law. We know what matters. most.